Yo, now before I get straight into the intro, please just bear with me for a couple of seconds as I explain the future of what I'm going to be doing with DC as far as my channel. In the future, I will be starting a guide talking about all the DCUO things that you should know for being a new player, or even if you are a current player, how can you maximize off of those little things. Talking about in-game for those people that might be up there in level like myself. Being a new player, what do you do from the beginning? How do you make skill points? What is the best power for you to go to? What fits your playstyle? How do you get artifacts, and what are the best artifacts for your said role? How do you make money on this game? How do you at least find a league that will help you out? How do you grind for gear? And what do you do when you are at the point of having any and everything that you want on this game? Like, what is there left to do? And for being a new player, where do you start? What power do you start with? And what is your main role that you're going to be focusing on? And last but not least, the PvP side and the dueling side. How do you get into that, and what is the meta power for DC? Now, with all that being said, if you are a new viewer to my channel, or even if you are a current viewer to my channel, if I said anything that caught your interest throughout this minute of me talking, even though I said 2 seconds, please let me know down below in the comments what I could have done differently, or even what I could have done differently for this video. But besides that, I'm going to stop talking here and now and get straight into the intro, so please enjoy.
Let's go. I can kick it with a lame ass nigga. Let's go. You ain't with me, you the same as the nigga thinking about my chain.
Hey, it's about time I start breaking them off. Lots of thotties who begging to fuck me, but I ain't got time to start breaking them off. Let's go. Only bought it cause it was a ticket. I can't even spell the design I bought. Put a dick in the Glock and knock out your mouth. Pussy boy better watch how you talk. I'ma show him, he said I ain't with it. Hey, my gun out the window, can't go like no bitch if he sending some shots on my shoe bag.
Yo, what is going on? I can't do that, man. Anyways, what is going on, my wonderful people? It's your YOOOO Games with another video. Now look, I understand how some people are ahead of one another when it comes to skill level. Some people might just be starting, and some people might just be midway, or some people might just be up there like myself. Now, as for the way I'll be explaining this video, I'm going to explain this video in different sections. As far as if you were a new player, I will be explaining it like that, or even if you are a mid-level player, a moderate player that has around 150 to like 300, I'll be explaining it like that. And if you are an in-game player that damn near has 350, 400 plus, then I will be explaining things like that as well. So please just bear with me. I will have timestamps down below, so feel free to skip along to whatever section you are in. And also, if anything I said or do helps you out in this video by the way I'm explaining things, or even if you just like the vibe of how I'm doing my video like this, please let me know down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, or even subscribe, because these videos kind of take a lot out of me. But anyways, let's get straight into it. Okay, so I went onto the game to give you guys a better example of what I'm going to be talking about. So for starters, what are skill points? Skill points are basically implements in the game that can do a lot of things for your character. Those things can range from character development, character improvement, stat development, meaning improving your stats. So if you're a healer, you can heal more, a lot more healing crits. If you're a tank, put more health into your character so you can tank more hits. If you're a DPS, or even if you troll, throwing out more power for trolling, or doing a little bit more damage as far as being a DPS. You can improve weapon combo, weapon damage. You can even put on a different weapon if you want. When it comes to talking about the stat tree, the way you'll go to it is traits, stat points, and then you're going to see weapon expert, hybrid, and superpowered. Now the thing is about weapon expert, for my people that come onto this game only to do straight damage, keep in mind, if you go weapon expert, that means that you are doing straight damage with only your weapons. That doesn't mean your superpowers and such, but that is only your weapon. Alright, so speaking about hybrid now, please bear with me because this can vary from whatever role you started off as when starting the game. So for starters, if you are DPSing and you go hybrid, that means both your weapon moves, like your weapon damage, and also your power moves, like your superpowers that you will be doing. You will basically have an equal character that can do both weapon damage and move damage, which makes him a well-balanced character. But some people prefer superpowered because hybrid versus superpowered, there is a big power difference, which means you're going to be dumping a lot of power if you go hybrid, versus if you are superpowered, you will be saving a lot more power for being a DPS. So for my people that want to go tank and also want to do hybrid, keep in mind you will gain a stat boost, which means you won't technically need to put a point into like health, because hybrid is just going to give you the health automatically for putting a point in it. But keep in mind you will have lesser power while tanking, but at the same time your weapon damage, because there are such things as battle tanking, which is doing both damage while pulling aggro. So this is perfectly fine, but I'll prefer superpowered. Now healing and trolling can kind of go under the same category, mainly because you need power to do either of these things. Now healing and trolling, you're gonna be dumping power really quick, and you don't have a big power pool. And what power is it basically allows you to throw out more moves. So basically healing, if you're dumping power really quick, you're not gonna have any more, say, when the team needs it. Same thing with healing, or not healing, same thing with trolling. If the team needs power to do their moves to kill a boss before like a one shot happens, and you as a troll don't have enough power to throw out, then what is the point? But there are some benefits too when it comes to hybrid, because one, you are gaining a stat increase to your restoration, which gives you more heals. Like say if you were to throw a heal out, or even if you were to throw a power out, that's allowing you to throw bigger numbers when it comes to healing and trolling. But all in all, I would still prefer Superpower. Now for Superpower is going to be your best friend depending on whatever role you go to, healing, trolling, tanking, or DPSing. DPS wise, you will be throwing out a lot more damage because it does give you a might stat on top of a power stat, which means you're going to have a bigger power pool, which allows you to throw out more moves, and that can vary from healing, trolling, tanking, and even DPSing. You're going to be able to have more power to throw out more of whatever you're doing. The thing is with DPSing though, DPSing you actually gain a 10% might stat, which allows you to hit harder moves if you are throwing out superpowers. And say if you were healing, trolling, and tanking, you have power regeneration, which allows you to regen your power quickly, even if you do dump pretty fast. So that's why I prefer Superpowered over anything. Okay, so for my people that are doing straight DPS, or that only want to come onto the game and do damage, what you will want to do is go critical chance, critical damage, and might and power. Now what these all do is critical chance allows you to, whenever you throw a superpower out, that allows it to possibly be a crit, and the higher you rank this up is the more of a chance you have to crit. So critical damage is when you do hit that crit, it allows that move to do a little bit more damage instead of just being the crit default damage, if that makes sense. Might and power is straightforward. It gives you a damage buff to whatever move you're throwing out. So for my healers out there, this is what you will want to do. Go critical healing chance, magnitude, and restoration. Now keep in mind, critical healing chance, what this is basically whenever you throw a healing move out, it allows that move to possibly crit, or a higher chance at critting, which does a little bit more heals for the team. Healing magnitude is basically whenever you do crit, it allows that crit to be higher, so you can possibly do a 20k crit instead of a 10k crit. Restoration, what this is basically whenever you throw a healing move out, it allows that move to just do base more healing, if that makes sense. So whenever, instead of it just being like a 20 like heal move, that 20 will possibly go to like a 200 healing move, and then the higher you rank it up, the more heals you throw out. So just bear with me. Trolling, obviously you go Superpowered, go critical power chance, magnitude, and vit. Now the thing is, you can go vitalization or you can go might and power, because trolling and maintaining power is kind of a bit hard to do, say if you aren't really too used to it. So you can go half and half from vitalization and might and power. That's completely up to you. About what to do with the skill points, let's actually get into how do you earn skill points. Now, like I said earlier, I will section this video off into 3 possible sections, just explaining each scenario. So if you're a new player, how do you start gaining skill points? If you're a moderate player, mid-level, how do you gain more from being at the point of where you're at? And then for my people that are up there like myself, how do you expand from 350, 400 plus to possibly 500, even 600? So let's get straight into the beginners. Okay, so for my beginners, honestly, there is going to be a lot that you can do throughout this game. Now for starters, my best advice for you guys is to rank up from level 1 to 30. That should be the first thing you guys should always worry about. As you are trying to hit that level 1 to 30 point, you will go outside seeing little side missions outside of the regular mission you're supposed to do. Now for this example, I am outside Little Bohemia, as you guys see, and to the left of me there is a guy standing with a mark above his head. Now what that means is it's basically a side mission where I will talk to him, and if you guys have skipped over this, I will recommend everybody to go back to it, or even if you're just starting out the game, please talk to these guys. Now after talking to these guys, you can actually go down to your tab and go to deeds, and then under your deeds tab click on feats. Now going to your feats tab, if you go to the solo tab and then the contracts, you can basically see all the sideline missions that will earn you skill points. Now this can vary from different areas like Little Bohemia, Metropolis, Chinatown, Gotham. It can vary from any location that you're in currently, and these contracts will tell you what you need to do in that certain location. Now you can skip over it. You might have skipped over one or two as you progress throughout the storyline, but don't make it that big of a priority to, hey, I need to do this, because doing missions for the storyline, you will actually have a chance to do all the missions, where all the missions have a sideline. So there shouldn't be a way where you do skip over it unless you intentionally do. And if you do that, then make sure you just go back and redo it, because these are a really quick and easy way to gain you a lot of experience throughout the storyline, but on top of that, give you skill points to rank up your character for the future. On top of all the other ways to get skill points, something else that you can do are races. Now, around Little Bohemia, Metropolis, Chinatown, anywhere that you go throughout the city of DC, there are a lot of racing areas that will basically shine purple in the sky unless you actually did the race. Now, what I'm currently doing right now is teleporting to Little Bohemia, Metropolis, or just rallying right now. Now, as you guys see, there are two races that are across from one another. One that I am standing on top of right now, and the other one directly across. Now, doing these races will actually give you a feat, but in order to see what race this is, go to your deeds, go to feats, and then go all the way down to your general. Now, I kind of passed it, but go to generals and then go down to your racing tab. As you guys see, each race has a different objective, where each rewards a 1, 2, or 3 star. 1 being a race where you can just do it regarding of what rank you get, versus a 3 star actually having a hard challenge to it. As I said earlier, there are races everywhere scattered through Gotham, Little Bohemia, Chinatown, anywhere that you guys go, Midtown, anywhere that you guys go, you guys will see these markers, and if you don't, then they are in the sky glowing purple. So please look around for these races and do them, because they might be a little annoying, but still. And if you don't know where they are, then please just look up on your phone like a DCUO map of each race location, because 2 stars, you kind of have to do 5 races in order to get the 2 star, and the 1 stars are kind of just do them and you get it right away. 3 stars are you do them, you get it right away, but there is a kind of a difficult challenge to do. But anyways, that's how the races work. Something else that you can do is go to your feats tab, go down to the exploration tab, and as you guys stumble to the exploration tab, you guys are actually going to see visit certain locations. Now, this is something that you actually do along the way of the storyline, and you really don't even notice that you're doing it, but if you haven't done it, just follow my lead right now. As you are making your way to any police station and you arrive, your goal is to find a teleporter and travel around the city to other police stations. Now, arriving at other police stations will give you more access to different feats. Like I said, I'm going to hit circle right now, and you guys see Chinatown, East End, Midtown, Diamond District. Traveling to these certain locations will give you the feat, like I just showed you guys right here on the feat list. It just says travel to classic police stations, JLD Watchtower, Gotham District, wherever you guys go, you can get a little feat like that, which is really simple. And the same thing applies at the Watchtower, or the Hall of Doom, I'm sure, for villains. Tech Wing, Magic, and Meta Wing for inside the Watchtower. So really easy. After explaining everything for the beginners, I might have some beginners come to this section, which this section I'm gonna be taking it like you know what you're doing. So basically, this is for mid-level players that are around 150 through 300 skill points. Now, for starters, please, for my mid-level players, I understand how annoying this might be, and you guys already know what I'm talking about, but racing fees. Now, keep in mind, beginners already gave you guys a little briefing as to what to do, but for my mid-level players, you guys already know what you're doing. So go to your racing fees, do them all. 3-star missions might be a little bit more challenging, mainly because you have to possibly look it up and see how to technically do it, per se. But keep in mind, as you progress throughout the racing feats and you actually clear the full list, there are other things that you can do after you're done with your racing feats. Now, keep in mind, if you are super speed, acrobatics, or even flight and skimming go under the same category, so I'm not going to really bring up skimming too much. But if you're one of these 3 movement modes, please go to the marketplace right now and go to the power token. Now, not the power token, but the movement token. Now, what the movement token does is allow you to change your movement mode from maybe super speed to flight, or flight from flight to acrobatics. After changing your movement mode, let's just say I went from super speed to flight. I'm gonna go back to my racing feeds and look at all the races restart none of my feats are gonna be there, and I'm gonna possibly wonder what the hell is going on. But that basically means that the racing tree resetted. Now you can earn a full list of feats again from doing the exact same races but with a different movement type, and that applies to acrobatics as well. Like I just said, I went from super speed to flight, and I'm now gonna go from flight to acrobatics. Yes, I understand how repetitive or how annoying this might be, but honestly, for you being a mid-level player, you should already know about this, and I'm just possibly repeating it so you guys can possibly have a reminder. But still, listen to some music, have a free day if you're sitting in a watchtower doing nothing. Get a map on your phone and just do them, because what the heck, I mean, how is it gonna hurt you? It's free skill points, so please do these. Okay, so now let's start talking about the LFG tab and working with other players, which honestly, yes and no. Some of you guys might know about this, especially for being mid-level players or playing this game for a good minute. But basically, an LFG tab is an open group chat where you can possibly find other players to help you out, or you help them out, but you guys both get rewarded, possibly skill points or better gear. So basically what I am doing right now is going to my settings or option settings and going all the way over to chat options, and basically what I did was under add new tab, I typed in LFG, and basically it's gonna pop up right here. What you will want to do is press square and actually go inside of the menu to edit the LFG tab. Now the only thing you'll need to do is find the looking for a new group, and it's not going to be highlighted green, but make sure you highlight it green and hit save. I'm not going to really explain it too much more, but understand that this is an open chat where you can ask anybody for help. So if you're having trouble on a duo mission, if you need feats, or if you need to run something where, hey, like I need to do a speed run on a certain duo, 7 minutes or less, blah blah blah, and people will invite you or you will invite them. It doesn't really matter how it works, as long as you're getting something in return. That's all that you use this chat for, or maybe to just have some help. I mean, there are some mid-level players that really don't know too much about LFG, and if you do, hey, you possibly skipped over this part anyway. But I'm just saying this because some people possibly don't know about it. But now let's actually talk about the other thing that most people need to really do. Something you guys need to do, especially for mid-level players, is please actually be self-efficient by yourself. And what I mean by that is go down to your duty tab, which I'm sure you guys know how this works now. Go to your episodes and go through all of these episodes and just pick a random episode. Me personally, I'm gonna pick Wonderverse. Bro, under this episode there are feats that are telling you to pick up rocks. Rocks for 2-star feats. Pick up green color rocks, blue color rocks, orange and red color rocks. Get a 2-star feat. How easy can that be, man? Honestly, even under, let's just go under another episode. Like let me find one. Let's just say Iceberg Lounge. Where's Iceberg Lounge at? Did I pass it? Nope, right here. Iceberg Lounge right here. Complete the solo instance without using a consumable. Bed. Even the mission under it, complete the solo instance without getting knocked out. Like, come on now, how easy can this stuff get? And there are people that actually don't want to waste their time and they're lazy doing this stuff. If you want to progress your character, especially with a new DLC coming out really soon, please get to it. Even under Atlantis, an old DLC, let me find one right here. Complete the instance, which is just a Crown of Thorns chase under 5 minutes. A 5-minute feat for completing a mission, man. Like, there's nothing else more that I have to say. This is a really easy solo feat, and there are other solo feats that you guys can like scour through and find. But please do your solos because it can't be easier than this. This is basically giving it to you for free. Pause. Something else that mid-level players can do to obtain skill points is buying them. Now everybody possibly already knows what I'm talking about, but go to your deeds and you guys already know the process. Anyways, go to your feat list. Now when you are at your feat list, go to your styles. Now there are some styles that you can just straight up buy that are really easy and obtainable. I mean, there are so many emblems that you can just use your end game currency for. Now let's just say if you don't have money on the game, cool, I'll make a money guide and explain how to get some money so you can go to this step later. But for those that do have money, I'm not speaking like 100 million, 200 million. This is no more than possibly like 25, 30 plus mil. Seeing all the 1-star feats and 2-star feats, take a picture on your phone, look them all up and see what they go for. They might go for 5, 6 mil because these are really easy to obtain during time capsules, and instead of you having to use a stabilizer, just go and buy them. Easy feat like that. Something else you can do is actually walk to the nature room and go to the 2 vendors that I am currently going to right now. Now, the one on the right is the cheaper one, and the one on the left is the more expensive. Unfortunately, with the one on the right, I bought all these styles in the past, so I can't really give you guys an example of what's in it. But just keep in mind that every style in here is between 15 source marks to like 9, 8. So the styles are really cheap. As for this one right here, being 70 source marks, but keep in mind, this vendor right here is basically straight 3-star gear or 3-star feats, versus the other one being 2 and 1 star. So obviously the currency is going to be higher for a vendor that's gonna be giving you more worth for the amount you're paying. So that's like a given. But anyways, let's go into the next thing you can do. Now, what I'm currently doing is going through the watchtower to all the old DLC vendors, and now what my goal is to basically look at all the old gear and see if it says not collected. Now, what I'm trying to do is collect all the non-collected gear so I can gain skill points. Now, because this is an old DLC, I possibly wasn't here during that time, and I possibly don't even know about it. So me personally, I'm going to explore, especially if you're a player that just farms LFG teams and you guys are doing old elite content, which is really easy by now. Well, I hope, depending on your level, your CR level. But still, farming or not farming, roaming these old vendors, you can actually stumble into some non-collected gear. And as you guys see, I'm at the Atlantis vendor, and I'm basically seeing if I can collect anything. Even some of the materials and auras are still gonna go for things, but we're looking for something that's cheap and really easy. And as you guys see, I do see some non-collected items. So what I'm currently going to do is pick them all up. After collecting all the gear that I didn't have currently in my style collection, I am just going to see if it's going to give me anything, because I really don't know too much about Atlantis because I wasn't here during that time. So me personally, I'm just going to see what skill point. I'm just doing this live right now, and bam, easy skill point while making this video. So basically that's how easy it is, especially for me. So that's something else you can do. Okay, so for my top of the top players, 350 to 400 skill points, maybe 500. You're just OD 600. I don't know why you're on this video, honestly. But ooh, that bit raw. Anyways, for my top of the top players, honestly, I don't know what to tell you. You guys, I'm only at 410 skill points, and there might be those out there that say, oh, I'm at 411, I'm at 500, I'm at 600. But hey, that's cool. But there's still some people that are high up there that pretty much don't know what to do. So for you guys, and including myself, I would prefer PvE Legends. Now, everybody already knows how big of a pain this is. I'm a hypocrite because I'm telling you guys this is something that you can possibly work on, and as you guys see, I don't even have them completed myself. Now, my best advice is to possibly catch it on the week where it's doing free legend characters, where it's giving you all the legend characters, and it's basically giving you all the missions, and basically doing one mission, one team up where it says use this character 10 times. One time or one run is going to count for 10 times. So I'll prefer to wait for that event to come to Legends. But honestly, me personally, I'm not a fan of Legends. I don't need this, and I'm perfectly fine with being at 410. I will get skill points if I want to. I have many things that I can do, many things from the mid-level section that I still need to personally work on. So me personally, I'm fully set. I don't really need to do Legends too much, but this might be something that you can do because there might be some people in my same position. Something else you can possibly do is bounties. Now with 31st Century, everybody already knows how annoying these bounties are. And me personally, I wasn't a big fan of this DLC's bounties versus Wonderverse DLC bounties, but there might be some people in my same position where they kind of slept back on it. So you can do bounties if you want, or even you can go down to harder missions like so-called Legion or Wonderverse, and you can even do Source Mastery. A lot of people don't have this feat yet, so Source Mastery is a good feat that you can do with a group of people, especially since you know what you're doing, what to look for, and it's just don't die, which I mean, I'm personally not a fan of doing feats like this, but there might be some of you guys that might. So, and that same thing is applied to Long Live Legion. And where is the feat right now? Abrupt Disruption. Hopefully I said that right. But basically hard feats like that. There are other hard feats too, like getting the Kryptonian cape from Pan, I think that's what it's called. But basically my RNG sucks. I would just buy the back piece, honestly. But still, there are feats that we can still go for together. and even PvP. I hope more PvP feats come in the near future, but still, there are some 8v8 missions and 5v5 missions, safe house missions that I can still be doing right now, and some things that you can do as well. On top of that, Legend PvE or Legends PvE might be something that you guys are stuck on. Even base items, you can obtain base items and just make a nice base. I mean, for being a high person up here in the game, I'm pretty sure you have some nice ores, some nice materials that you can sell, or you just look nice. You probably have billions, you probably have millions that you don't mind spending, and while you're spending that, gain base items. You might be that person that fully maxed out on everything and have 600 skill points. So like I said, for those that possibly are not in that same position and you're in a position similar to mine where you're in the 400 range and kind of don't have much to do because you don't feel like it, still get base items, make a nice base. I'm currently just scrolling over survival mode because, like, what the heck, I don't know what else to speak about. But still, for being a high person, there is like limited things that you can do unless you find things to do to make it fun. I mean, you can do challenges, you can go for YouTube videos, world records, 4-manning raids, and so on and so forth like that. But still, feat wise, PvE Legends is where I need to work on. Base items, even generals. I mean, like, still artifact sections, my general tab with time capsules. There are still a couple of things that I can be doing right now. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. I really don't know what else to speak about. I really don't know. Honestly, I tried really hard to make this video, and if you guys have stuck to the very end, I appreciate that. That means a lot that you guys actually care to listen to what I have to say. On top of that, please, if you guys had anything in mind that I possibly forgot for any section, possibly help one another out, let me know what I forgot to include and what I could have done differently in the comment section. And I'm tired, so please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and tune into the channel. Check out the Discord link will be down below in the description. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, so tune in. But besides that, have a good night.